Now, I'm gonna put this out there because I know someone's gonna mention this in the comment section, and it's an obvious answer for those of you or those of us who carry at the house or concealed carry and have one at the end of our this kind of self-defense tool. Mine is a little rail on the bottom, and the one that I have in my house right next to the bedroom or next to the bed in the safe, if I pull that out, something goes bumped in the middle of the night, that has a flashlight on the end. So that is the best small flashlight for self-defense in that application. But what I'm talking about is something that you carry every single day when you can't carry this. So we're talking about non-permissive environments. So we're going to say, it's, someone will say, well, why don't you use pepper spray? We're talking about non-permissive environments. You're walking in an area, or you're in an area late at night, or you're traveling, you're in a hotel room, you were on the plane before, you couldn't carry some of your self-defense tools with you. You want to carry a self-defense tool. A flashlight is always going to be a great option. I'm going to tell you why very quickly, and then we'll talk about what's the best small flashlight for self-defense. And then I want to hear what you think. I want you to put in the comment section what size flashlight, what kind of flashlight. Is it a tactical flashlight? Is it just a regular flashlight, which we'll go over here in a second? But what's the best small flashlight for self-defense in your opinion? I'm just going to tell you my opinion. My opinion is not better than yours. It's just different. Or it might be the same. I don't know. But when you use a tactical flashlight or a small self-defense flashlight, there are many ways that you employ it for self-defense. One is to blind the person at night who might be trying to hurt you, attack you. They're coming at you. They're trying to take away your freedom, your dignity, your life. They're trying to hurt you. And all you have with you is a small flashlight. You can blind them, take away their night vision, and then run and get out of there if you can. So that's the first way that you use a flashlight at night. Now, after that, we start to talk about using it as a fist load. So in your hand, you got the heavy batteries in your flashlight. No matter what the size is, it's going to have some batteries in it. By squeezing this and striking just a regular punch, you're going to generate much more force than you could with your empty fist, with just a regular fist. So when you put a flashlight in your hand, it's like holding a roll of quarters, holding a pocket stick, like a martial arts style pocket stick, a Kubotan keychain, a pen, a marker, in this case, a small flashlight. So now you are able to strike with so much more force. I'm gonna get to the comments here, the chat in just a second. So that's the other way you use it. You can do a straight punch, you can do a hooking punch, you can do an uppercut. You can use, a lot of them will have a bezel here on the end. Material cut out like that, that will rip the flesh, and you can generate more force as you're coming down. So you have overhead strikes, you have reverse hand strikes, like a back fisting strike. You can hit the person who's behind you. You can strike multiple people at once, and because it's in your hand, it becomes a force multiplier. So that's how you would use this self-defense flashlight. But what's the best small flashlight? And I'm going to start with the largest of the small. And now I say small because in my in the bedroom, in addition to the one that I carry on my firearm, that's obviously for that application, that's the best flashlight because it's attached. I also have big mag lights in mag light style. We'll call it mag light style because some of them aren't mag lights anymore. They have these LEDs, which make them extremely bright, much more bright. You'll see just this one is a lot brighter, has all these different functions. But this is just a simple Energizer brand. And this has heavier, I think it tells you here, these are a bunch of AA batteries, but there's 6 in here. And that's a hard aluminum. So on this size, this is still small. This isn't the big ones that I have in the bedroom. But for self-defense, you could still carry this, put it in a bag, take it with you, have it in your pocket. You could use this the same way we do the others, blind the person at night, or you could strike. So this, the advantage of this short one that's a little bit longer than the other short ones we'll talk about, you have a little bit more of a striking surface here. You still have the edge here where you can strike coming in here. You still have the function of that loaded fist. And in this case, it's very heavy. So when you hit, you're gonna hit with so much more force, breaking the jaw, knocking somebody out for self-defense. And just do the back fist, you can do all the same things as you would with the other one that we talked about. So this is the first option. This one, I think, is about, well, it's about 12 inches. So 12 inches, we'll say that's the longest or the biggest of the short flashlights. So if this is your choice, then put that in the comment sections, the bigger of the smallest one. We'll go the next one smaller, which is the one we just looked at, this tactical flashlight. This is one of my favorite ones. I have several of these. I have one in my car. I keep one in my office. I carry one when I'm working here and it's dark at night. I carry one with me on my belt in a little pouch that I pull out. Looks like my pepper spray pouch or pepper gel pouch. So it's just a simple pouch that I carry on my gear. And I always have this, and I can carry it in one hand. If I had to pull my self-defense tool out of the other hand, then I can use this and use it at the same time. Or if I wanted a non-lethal option, this is great because, again, loaded fist, overhand strikes, reverse hand strikes, hitting the guy behind you. So this second one, is this a question, or is this the size that you would prefer? So this is our first choice. There's our second choice. You can see this one is about 6 inches, about the exact same size as a Kubotan keychain or a Yawara pocket stick. G. Carlton asked, am I going to do class on flexible weapons? Absolutely. I still have to do I want to do the one on the belt because I've been thinking a lot about the belt. I have multiple kinds of belts now that I want to bring into that discussion. And then, you know, the Filipino martial arts, they use the sarong, tie people up. Flexible weapons are in most Asian martial arts. And it's one of those things where it's a non-permissive environment. You can carry it. You can carry a belt anywhere you go. You might have to take it off to go through TSA, but then you put it on the other side, and then you have it with you when you're on the plane. If you might have to defend yourself, belts can be a great option. So we'll talk about that in another video. The earlier question was about my hips. How are my hips doing? Today, they're doing great. And lately, they've been great. Since I stopped eating carbs, this has nothing to do with carbs in this video. We're talking about flashlights. But since you asked, that's my number one recommendation. You want to get healthy, get rid of your inflammation, kill the carbs. Hey, Doug, it's good to see you. Yeah, Doug says, can't speak enough of a small flashlight. Doug's law enforcement. Doug's also a martial artist. So in the comment section, if you would, Doug, put what size is your favorite. Do you go a little bit bigger? Do you do the tactical? Now, I also carry with me my medical kit. This has chest seals, it has gauze to pack wounds, and it has several different sizes of tourniquets. And if you ever work in a school, this is a pro tip that I think about all the time, but when I talk to people in my industry, they don't often think about it. Even the nurses and I'm not saying here because here we've taken care of the issue. But if you work with kids at all, kids' arms and legs are not the same size as adults. You might have tourniquets all over like we do, but you might not have kid-sized tourniquets. And it's extremely important if you did have a lot of people who are bleeding all at once, you have a mass casualty event because of an active shooter or something like that, you need to make sure that you have some pediatric size tourniquets. So I have some of those in here. Plus they're everywhere, all over the campuses where that I'm responsible for. Hey, Air Guns Anonymous is here. It's good to see you. So in this one, I also have flashlights because you never know when you're going to need them. The next size is this pin flashlight. It's almost exactly the same size, just a little bit less, so probably about 5 inches. It will also work as a fist load. You're going to be able to hit harder, not as hard as this one that has 4 batteries, not nearly as hard as this one that's made out of metal and has 6 batteries. This has 2, I think they're AAA batteries. Take a look at that. Yeah, look at that, AAA. So it has 2 AAA batteries. So it's not as heavy, obviously, but it's gonna blind somebody at night. So you have that great advantage of taking away someone's night vision. You flash it right in their eyes, and then if you can get out of there, get out of there. If you have to strike with it, now it's in your hand. You can hit so much harder. You can do the jabbing strikes, you can do the back fisting strikes. It's not gonna be as effective because it's not as big, in my opinion. But in the comment section, that's why this is a discussion. What do you think about this size here? I love this size. This is just such a useful size. I also have an LED a version of this one that is black light. That, for those of you in law enforcement, you know why you might use black light. When you're investigating something briefly and you want to see if there's certain things, materials that you need to see with a black light. You guys know what I'm talking about, law enforcement. Yeah, Doug says his is a 5-inch 1,000 lumens with sharp bevel and still keeps the, yeah, you have he has the old big, what we were talking about earlier, the big old mag lights, the D cells, that, the brain crushers, right? I mean, those things, skull crushers, are pretty effective. Now, this is the smallest one that I have for this discussion. I wanted to make this video and ask you what you thought. I have this one in my office. This one I'll get on a rainy night because it's so stinking bright. And if I need to go outside and direct traffic, I have this one, and I have an attachment with the little orange thing on the end, and I can direct traffic with it. I can also, it'll pierce through the driving rain, so it's very effective for that, but it's also extremely effective in self-defense. So best small self-defense flashlight, or this one. Like I said before, I carry these when I'm working at night. I throw one of these on my my duty belt, carry it with me in my gear, and then I always have these two in my medical kit. You never know, you might be using your medical kit. You have to pass one out to, there are other people who are helping, like a triage, or helping to, like I have multiple medical kits, different sizes, in the car, in the house, at work. You know, you might be driving, you come across upon a bad car accident, or you might be in a car accident, and you might have all this medical gear. You might not be able to use it, but there might be a nurse on scene, a doctor, somebody who knows how to, you know, an EMT, to use it, and then you can hand it to them. And then if you have a flashlight, you're able to illuminate and help them do their work. But for self-defense, can you light up the night? 3-bulb flashlight. This one, it's just an energizer. So like everything else I think I get these days, I'm sure I got it off of Amazon. But I'll put a link in the description. I'll look for it and put a link in the description if you want to come back and look at it later, or just Google the Energizer. And very inexpensive. It's a great option. I don't think it's aircraft aluminum, but it's nice heavy aluminum. It's got 6 AA batteries in it, and it's extremely bright. It's got those multiple functions, so you can use this one. And I'm not sure how many lumens it is. It doesn't say. Of course, it's made in China. Hopefully we start making more things here in this country. But this is the smallest. So the smallest to the largest of the small self-defense flashlights, which one do you think you would carry, or would you have all 4 like I have? I have these at the house. I have a whole different set. Like I said, at the house I have much bigger ones, and then I have one that attaches to my self-defense tool that has a high capacity magazine. It's like nice little, and I haven't gone to the red dots. I don't know if there's been a lot of discussion of that lately. I'm an iron sight person. I'm a point and shoot, both eyes open. And it's good to be able to see at night. So if you have a flashlight on the end of your self-defense tool, the one that might sit next to your bed, or that you conceal carry, then obviously that's for a different application. These are for non-permissive environments. I carry this with me, one of these. Like I said, I have multiples of these. I carry with these everywhere I travel. Every country I go to, I'm able to take this through. I've never had TSA taken a flashlight away from me. I've always had these with me. And then when I get to where I'm going, and it's in my carry-on, so that, God forbid, if there's an accident and miraculously I survived somehow, then you're able to grab your bag, you would have a light with you, which is definitely a survival tool. So it's not just a self-defense tool, it's an obvious survival tool in so many different ways. And a torch or a light is always going to be effective for just making everything a lot easier in the middle of the night, being able to see. And I'm all for letting your eyes dilate and get your night vision. But sometimes if you have to do work, you want to do it with a flashlight. So let me know in the comment sections, what do you like of the selection that I have here? Or you might have a different one that you like. And if you want to grab a link and put that in the description too, that works. I'd love to see what your opinion is, or what you're using, or what you think is best. I appreciate all the comments, and I will see. We're going to do the flexible weapons sometime soon. I have a whole a group, and in the flexible weapons, I'm going to include a chain because I've been walking around with a chain, and I find that to be a very effective self-defense tool. And we'll talk about why that is on another video, and whether it's actually a flexible weapon or just a chain, a flail. So we'll talk about that soon. And